Philippine Probation Law, a continuation report about implied applicability of the probation law and the purposes of the Philippine Probation Law.
Good day everyone, especially to our instructor, Miss Mercy Ratnanil. I am Fidelister Lungay Panchito, BS Scream 3 Section B. So, my report is the continuation of the Philippine Probation Law, which is implied applicability of the Probation Law. Number 11. Optical Media Act of 2003 RE 9239 repealed PD 1987 or an act creating the Videogram Regulatory Board. There is an express provision under PD 1987 that the probation law shall not apply in cases of its violations. However, under RE 9239, there is no longer a provision that clearly excludes the application of the probation law in case of its violations. Hence, since the latter law is more favorable to the convict and applying the purpose and intention of the probation law, persons who are convicted for violating this law shall be allowed to be placed in the probation. So, let's proceed to the purposes of the Philippine Probation Law. Number 1. Promote to correction and rehabilitation by providing the offender with individualized treatment. Number 2. Provide an opportunity for the reformation of an offender which might be less probable if he were to serve a prison sentence. And number 3. Prevent the commission of offenses. Section 2 PD 968. For the other purposes, number 1, to establish a more enlightened and humane correctional systems that will promote the reformation of offenders and thereby reduce the incidence of recidivism. And the number 2, to avoid confinement of all offenders in prisons and other institutions for rehabilitation that surely constitutes an onerous drain on the financial resources of the government. And reminders, as an individualized and community-based treatment, probation created a relationship between the probationer and a probation officer, the latter exercising supervision over the former. This relationship assumes the willingness of the probationer to be placed on probation. Probation supervision implies a systematic guidance and assistance of the probation officer for personalized treatment for the probationer. This constitutes the probationary treatment. A community-based treatment underlines the goal of reintegrating the probationer into the mainstream of society. Hence, community involvement and support are important for the development, recreation, education, and other treatment and prevention programs aimed to reducing the alienation of the probationer from the community. As an opportunity for reformation, Section 2 expresses the concept of probation as an opportunity for reformation. The basis for such assertion is the idea that probation is a humane correctional treatment of offenders. Inherently, the concept recognizes the lesser probability of reformation if a duly convicted and sentenced offender is incarcerated, thereby directly causing disruption of his normal family and social relationships. The opportunity to reform and assume a normal life is greatly enhanced when the offender is released after conviction and sentenced to the custodial supervision of a probation officer. At this juncture, it must be noted that only offenders who are likely to respond to individualized and community-based treatment programs can avail of probation. It is the ultimate goal of probation that probationers be productive members of the society, thereby assuming family as well as community responsibilities. To prevent the commission of offense, probation is an alternative to incarceration. It represents an enlightened and humane correction system, recognizing the likelihood that crime is an outgrowth of a situation such as family problem or unemployment, or the likelihood that the crime is significantly related to other conditions such as when the offender is suffering from a mental illness or psychological abnormality. Probation seeks to correct archaic belief that incarceration deters commission of crimes. The means to achieve such is through individualized and community-based treatment. Moreover, long-term imprisonment tends to erode the offender's capacity for responsibility and capability to assume a respectable social life. The objective of probation, therefore, is for the protection and welfare of the society through prevention of the commission of crime. So that would be all for my report. Thank you, and once again, good day everyone.